tuned into 103.9 The Turkey. Stay with us as we break down today's biggest stories.
Good morning, listeners. This is Elijah, and you're tuned in to 103.9 The Turkey. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. In today's episode, we'll delve into the recent declaration of martial law in South Korea, the political turmoil following the U.S. presidential election, and the controversy surrounding the proposed acquisition of U.S. steel by Japan's Nippon Steel. We'll also discuss the internal challenges facing the Democratic Party after their recent electoral defeat. Stay with us as we unpack these developments and their implications. In a significant development, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has declared martial law, citing threats from pro-North Korean anti-state forces. This marks the first such declaration since 1980. The decree prohibits all political activities, including those of the National Assembly and political parties, and places media under military control. Opposition leaders have condemned the move, with some calling for its nullification. In the United States, President-elect Donald Trump has vowed to block Nippon Steel's proposed $15 billion acquisition of U.S. steel. He expressed concerns about foreign control impacting American workers and plans to use tax incentives and tariffs to strengthen the domestic steel industry. Nippon Steel aims to finalize the deal before Trump's inauguration, but faces opposition from both political leaders and labor unions. Domestically, the Democratic Party is confronting internal challenges following their recent electoral defeat. Party leaders are engaging in discussions to reassess their strategies and address growing concerns among their base. These events underscore the dynamic and often turbulent nature of global and domestic politics. As always, we encourage our listeners to stay informed and critically engaged with the news. Welcome back to i-ctrl+e's Radio on 103.9 The Turkey. Now let's dive into today's debate. Joining me are Vaughn, representing a corporate Republican perspective, and Mira, a progressive left populist. We're tackling two intertwined issues: President-elect Trump's proposed tariffs and the Democratic Party's internal struggles following their recent defeat. Vaughn, let's start with you. Why do you think tariffs are the answer here?
Thanks, Elijah. It's simple. American steel has been at a disadvantage because of foreign dumping. Nippon Steel's takeover is a direct threat to our domestic industry and jobs. Trump's tariffs are a bold move to ensure American companies can thrive without foreign interference.
But Vaughn, tariffs aren't a real solution. They're a Band-Aid. They might temporarily protect some industries, but they ultimately drive up costs for consumers and provoke retaliatory measures from other nations. If we want to strengthen American steel, we need investment in green infrastructure and modernized facilities, not isolationist policies.
Green infrastructure? That's a utopian dream. What American workers need are immediate protections, not lofty promises about sustainability. Tariffs send a strong message that we're prioritizing our economy first.
Prioritizing the economy for who? CEOs and shareholders? What about the working families who will face higher prices on goods due to these tariffs? And while we're at it, let's talk about the Democratic Party's role here. Their failure to offer bold economic reforms is part of why they lost the trust of voters.
The Democratic Party's failure has nothing to do with this. If anything, their constant regulation proposals and anti-business rhetoric have driven jobs out of the country. That's why Trump won. He understands that businesses create jobs, not government programs.
Hold that thought, Vaughn. Mira, do you believe the Democratic Party can recover with the current leadership?
Not unless they drastically change course. They need to stop catering to corporate donors and start listening to working people. The party must embrace policies like Medicare for All and a Green New Deal, real reforms that address the root causes of economic inequality.
All right, let's pause there. After the break, we'll dig deeper into the potential ripple effects of Trump's tariffs and whether the Democratic Party can truly pivot toward progressive reform. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Are you tired of dull, lifeless spaghetti sauce? Introducing Bob's Ultra Dynamite Marinara, the only sauce so powerful it doubles as engine oil and a mosquito repellent. Packed with flavor so intense, it might just reset your taste buds to factory settings. But, like all good things, there are some side effects. Buckle up, folks. Here they are. Uncontrollable Italian hand gestures. Use caution around breakable objects. Spontaneous singing of opera. No prior vocal training required. Sudden cravings for lasagna at inappropriate times, like during a board meeting. Temporary night vision. Great for midnight snack runs. Your cat might start speaking Italian and honestly lose complaining. Excessive use of the word mamma mia in everyday conversations. A newfound compulsion to buy an organ. Again, no prior experience needed. Neighbors randomly showing up for dinner. Uninvited but hungry. Your car may now smell like garlic bread forever. And of course, mild teleportation just during meals. Enjoy the view. So what are you waiting for? Try Bob's Ultra Dynamite Marinara today. Available wherever unregulated and questionably safe condiments are sold. Welcome back. Mira, you mentioned earlier that the Democratic Party needs to pivot. What specific steps do you think they should take?
They need to stop catering to corporate donors and start listening to working people.
Grassroots fundraising sounds nice in theory, but campaigns require money to win. Rejecting corporate donors puts Democrats at a disadvantage. And these bold policies Mira loves, they alienate moderates and independents. Trump's base, by the way.
Vaughn, Trump's base isn't just made up of traditional conservatives. Many of his voters are disillusioned working-class people who feel abandoned by both parties. Democrats can win them back by proving they're on their side.
You think taxing businesses and pushing for radical policies will win over the working class? They'll see through that as another pipe dream funded by wishful thinking.
Let's bring this full circle. Vaughn, if tariffs are implemented, what's your plan for mitigating the impact on consumers?
The short-term pain is worth the long-term gain. We'll see a revitalized steel industry, more jobs, and a stronger economy. Temporary relief measures can help consumers adjust.
And there it is, temporary relief for working families while corporations rake in profits. We need systemic change, not just quick fixes to appease big business.
Strong points from both sides. As always, the truth lies somewhere in the middle, or maybe just slightly to the left or right of it. Thanks, Vaughn and Mira, for your spirited debate. Coming up, the conclusion of today's episode. Stay tuned. Let's recap today's episode. We discussed South Korea's declaration of martial law and its global implications, President-elect Trump's proposed tariffs on Nippon steel, and the Democratic Party's struggles after their recent electoral defeat. Through it all, we've seen the tension between immediate solutions and long-term strategies. Whether it's tariffs or political reform, the stakes are high and the future remains uncertain. Don't miss Friday's episode of i-ctrl+e's Late Night Comedy with Pop Pup. We'll dive into the absurdity of modern politics, puppets included. Until then, stay informed, stay critical, and stay tuned to 103.9 The Turkey. As always, I'll leave you with this. I control you, and I control elites. Good night.